Owen, how's it going? Talk to me. What's your question?
Hey Josh. My question is, so I know there's no supply zones at all-time highs. So when hypothetically, say we raise past the all-time high, where should you really be realistically looking for a pullback?
So because there's no supply at all-time highs, what you have to realize is that the market hasn't yet created structure. Okay. So you have to use inter-day context, what's happening that day to determine what's going to happen or what's not going to happen. So during that time, I'm always bullish as far as my bias because we've broken all-time highs. That means we are where we've never been before. That means we can keep going where we've never been before. Does that make sense? That's number one.
Yes.
Number two, any pullback, I'll look to short. But I'm gonna pull up the market and I'm gonna show you certain signs I look for when I'm thinking that even though we're at all-time highs, there might be a reversal. I'm gonna show you that here in a second. Um, and then from there, you can then make the best decision in your trading. And I usually call them the four horsemen. Have you heard me use that term before, Owen?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'll show you yesterday in the market, I believe it was, where we did that. And then you'll be able to see what happened. Okay. Because you have to remember that the market is an auction process. Okay. So we're going to keep going up until the last buyer buys. I'm going to say that again. And if the market is selling off, we're going to keep selling off or keep going down until the last seller sells. So the question you have to ask yourself is, are people buying at this level or not? Or are people selling at this level or not? When it comes to all-time highs, the question is, are people buying at this level or not? Now I'm going to show you a perfect example, and I'm going to draw out a little chart for you. I believe it was yesterday or Monday that we broke all-time highs again, correct?
Yep. And it's weird because I swear I should be feeling like I'm waiting for the drop.
Okay. And that's what happens sometimes where you wait for the drop, but I'll show you, for example, my chart here so you can get an idea of what I see on the 5 minute chart. Here we go. So this right here is okay. I'm gonna zoom in here so you can see this. Perfect. Let me share my screen here. Okay, perfect. So this right here is Monday. Okay, are you seeing this?
Yes.
So if we were to zoom in on this, just out of curiosity, we came to all-time highs, but we came back down. Here's the important piece, okay? I said the market is going to keep going up until the last buyer buys. When we got around this area right here, it seemed that buyers stopped buying, okay? We kept being stuck around this area. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 minutes where we hung around this level. So the first thing I look for, number one, is are we staying around the level, okay, or what's called consolidation, okay? Are we consolidating around a particular level, okay? Number two, if we're consolidating around that level, when are we going to get lower highs? Okay, I usually draw a little trend line. For example, here, I'll draw a trend line like this. You see that? I'll
Yes.
draw a trend line like that. That's step number two. Or another good rule of thumb is if we break the 9 EMA on the 5 minute. So I'll just put that there too. We break the 9 EMA to the downside. That's step two. Okay. Step three, on that low, I'm getting in. So as soon as I see step one, step two, consolidation and all-time highs, we break a trend line or break the 90 EMA to the downside, I'm going to get into shorts or puts, and my stop will be above the high. Okay. Another place that happened, I want you to memorize this picture because I always say the market repeats itself. Look at this level right here. Look at what happened here before we headed down. Let's look at today's trading. Okay. Today, as well, this is today, the market kept going up. You see this? And
Yep.
what happened again? The same consolidation at the top. We hung out here for 25 minutes and we started heading down, okay? We came back up to retest this area, and boom, flush. Okay, so I'm always looking for that consolidation around highs or inside the supply zone or close to a supply zone. And then I'm going to get in short, put a tight stop so I have little risk. So this is my risk, okay? And this was my reward. Look at my risk here, look at my reward here. That's how I like to get into my trades. So look for consolidation and then look for a break of a trend line or a 9 EMA. You see, I drew my trend line here. I was literally waiting for this trend line break. So I was averaging into shorts here, and I got my move down. Hope that answers your question, Owen.
Yes, yes, it does. That was a good trade too.
Exactly, perfect trade. And guess what? The same thing showed itself. Like it happens over and over again. That was today. Let's see yesterday. Okay. Look at how we headed and consolidated around this area, move down. Okay. It happens over and over again when you see that same setup. It always makes me excited, especially when we're in the supply zone or highs. Look at this. High supply zone consolidation, boom. Even a few weeks ago when we broke 51, look at here, look at this day as well. Same consolidation, and then what happened? Downward move. So this is the same move over and over and over again. So the best thing you can do is literally take a screenshot of this, print it out, memorize it, look at and start looking for it. Okay, if you're starting to think the market is going down, look for this move, this type of pattern, consolidation, lower highs. You see how I drew this trend line right here?
Yes.
See, you see how I drew this trend line right here? And what did it break again? The 9 EMA, okay? So I'm literally looking for the same trade over and over and over again when I'm thinking shorts. Consolidation, break of a trend line, I'm entering short, I'm catching that move down. Does that make sense? Over and over and over again. So that's the answer to that question. Hopefully that helps.